So in this video, I'm going to explain the exact system that I use to sign a multi-7-figure client with no outreach, no ads, and no referrals. And on top of that, I also got paid up front, and it took me only 10 minutes of work to set this up. So here is proof of this happening. You can see the client sent me the exact video that I made, asked how much I charge, and said exactly how much they're doing every month. Now, I'm not going to reveal their monthly income. As you can see here, they're clearly making 6 figures per month at the moment. And even they realized that they have a specific missing piece that I'll be going over in this video. And what makes this strategy even better is that I didn't need a big audience, I didn't need any fancy equipment, I didn't need a script, I didn't need thousands of views, and I didn't need crazy case studies. But the problems right now that you likely have in your business when it comes to creating a content funnel is that you don't know what content to make. And once you have an idea of the content you want to make, you don't know how to execute that content. And once you have an audience, you have no idea how to turn them into paying clients. By the end of this video, you will know how to solve each of these 3 problems and scale your coaching business, your info business, your agency to whatever revenue level you're looking to get to. So I divide all of my funnels into 3 core principles: attract, educate, and convert. When it comes to attracting people into your funnel, being able to attract your ideal clients to your social media content is not just a spray and pray strategy. It is a skill. Do not just leave it up to the algorithm and just post loads of content and hope that one of them goes viral. Instead, you need to build a system that attracts your ideal clients repeatedly. So I've created this graphic to illustrate this to you. On the left, you have entertainment. This is people like Mr. Beast, people like Mike Thurston, people like Iman Gadzi. Whilst you might think some of these people are creating educational content, in reality, they're optimizing for as many views as possible. They don't really give any genuine value beyond entertainment. And ultimately, this kind of content builds the wrong audience. Now, on the other hand, we have a different type of content that we call a sales asset. Now, the way that sales assets differ from entertainment is that they maximize views from ideal clients and ignore everyone else. They give value first, and they build a small audience of the right people that will actually buy from you. Some examples here are a 2-hour and 30-minute video from Alex Hormozi about sales. You can see it didn't get that many views compared to some of his more viral videos, but it will make him a lot more money because it actually gives value. It actually will attract business owners and it will build the right audience. Nick Setting's video going over his Instagram ad strategy that made him 1.2 million in 2024. It's a long form video, barely any editing, similar to this where he's going through a Miro board or a Lucid chart, barely any views, no one knows who he is, he's not famous, but he's making tens of thousands of dollars from this single video. And then you have creators like Jeremy Haynes who are huge in the marketing space, creating videos like this. This is one of his most popular videos. It only got 4,500 views, and it's only going to attract the right audience. And most importantly, it's an hour-long video full of value. So as a business owner, now that you know this difference, if you're trying to sell high-ticket services or products, you need to start making sales assets rather than entertainment. So what do sales assets actually look like? They're going to look like, first, problem-solving videos. So solving problems for your ICP should be your #1 priority when you're making videos. Secondly, should be system breakdowns and explainer videos. Explain the systems that you build in sufficient detail to prove competency. Now, you won't always have a complicated system like this. If you sell something more simple, it still helps to explain exactly how it works to your ideal customer. And then finally, case studies. Now, the size of these buckets is proportionate to the amount of these videos that you should be producing or the amount of content in general. So you want to focus primarily on problem-solving videos and system breakdowns. Case studies can come later because the purpose of case studies is more to convert people into booking a call rather than attracting people into your funnel. And of course, on a case study, you want to be delivering hard proof that it's worked for you or for other people. For example, this video is proof that I signed a 7-figure client using this system that I'm telling you about. So this is in many ways both a case study of myself and a system breakdown. So now you know what kind of content to make, but how do you find winning ideas? Well, The first point I want to make on this is don't use ChatGPT, don't use AI. I know it sounds flashy and it's going to save you loads of time, and there's definitely a place for AI in business, but when it comes to being creative, this is where AI struggles. AI doesn't understand the nuances of creating content. It can give you some ideas, it can give you some seeds, but don't just expect ChatGPT to make you viral. So content really comes down to packaging, which falls under 3 different subtopics: your title, your thumbnail, and your idea. So the idea itself, you can generate using competitor research. So what I recommend for this is finding at least 3 competitors, if not more, farming ideas from them, so going to their most popular videos and seeing which ones worked well. Also looking at the most popular videos over the last maybe 3 to 6 months. And I'd highly recommend using an extension called vidIQ, which will show you very quickly which videos are outliers. Now, once you've copied all of their best ideas into a Notion or a Google Doc, you're going to want to run those ideas through several filters. So the problem filter, you've got to ask yourself, does this idea solve a problem for my ideal client? Or does it solve a problem for someone I don't even want to sell to? Or even worse, is it just entertainment and it doesn't solve a problem at all? Secondly, you want to run it through the money filter. So ask yourself, would people pay money for this information? And thirdly, the actionable filter. Is this video idea going to give someone actionable advice or actionable steps that they can take today in order to improve their business, improve their fitness, improve their health, improve their relationships? And if all of those are ticked off, then you can go ahead and create the video. When it comes to your thumbnail, there are really 3 basic rules that you want to copy. First is that you need enough contrast to make the text or the visuals visible. You want to stick to the 3-element rule. This basically states that if you don't know what you're going to do, just make 3 separate elements. A lot of the time, this will be your face, some text, and an image. Finally, use a legible sans font, so make it as easy as possible to read. I recommend using Photopea. It's a free tool, alternative to Photoshop, to build your thumbnails. And you can see here how the packaging goes into play when it comes to Alex Hormozi. You can see the 3-element rule on one of his most popular videos here, where he has himself as 1 element, the text box as a 2nd element, and then the text itself as a 3rd element. You can see here, this text up here is element 1, the blueprint itself is element 2, and he is element 3. Of course, this doesn't apply across the board, but it's a very good rule to stick to at the start of your journey. Another point I want to make on creating thumbnails is do your best to just copy what already works. You'll see some of my thumbnails look very similar to the ones that Alex Hormozi is using because they worked for him. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to recreate what's already working. Great artists steal. Now, when it comes to your title, this is something that people oftentimes don't really think about, but it's important that you stick to the YouTube meta. By that, I mean you stick to what's currently working in the last 3 months or so. So think about how you're capitalizing things, think about your brackets, and think about your punctuation. You'll see here again with Alex Hormozi, these kinds of things like the capital letters here, the full blueprint here, the fact that this is in lowercase here, the fact that he said the exact number of minutes of the video, these are all important things that you need to be taking in and replicating in your content. Now that you know how to attract people into your funnel, you need to be able to educate them. We can separate this system into several different stages that take someone from not knowing who you are and just clicking on your video to the point where they might want to work with you. And all of these psychological steps can happen in just one video. So perhaps when you clicked on this video, you thought, I need help with scaling my coaching business or my info business, my SaaS, whatever it might be. I wonder what people who have big coaching businesses do. So you might have clicked on one of my funnel hack videos where I've broken down what larger businesses are doing in order to convert their traffic or their audience into paying clients. You'll then think, oh nice, someone's done the research for me, but whoa, this is probably more detailed than I realized. It actually sounds like a lot of work. I understand the concepts, but I don't know how to implement all of this. Well, I guess this guy, as in me, or whoever it is that you're watching, or you if you're making content, I guess this guy knows what he's talking about. Looks like he's even done it before once you start looking at my case studies, my examples, anything like that. And then you might eventually get to the point, especially if you're a successful business owner, you will realize that your time is worth more than your money. And so it makes sense for you to pay me or someone else to do these things for you so that you can take back your time and focus on other things within your business. So you will say, fine, I'll end up chatting to him. All of this will happen, like I said, in the span of one single video. Now, this is the exact video that helped me sign that 7-figure client, or that multi-7-figure client. But how do you actually make this kind of video? Well, it's actually a really simple formula to make this educational content that sells for you. So you really don't need to sell that hard on a sales call. So we do this with something called the educator formula. Now, this is obviously built on the idea of the value equation from Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. In the first 30 seconds, you really want to be tackling the dream outcome, the perceived likelihood of achievement, the time delay, and the effort and sacrifice involved. And once you minimize the bottom and maximize the top, you have a lot of value. And that needs to be well articulated. So when it comes to making your videos, you're going to need to have a specific skill or piece of knowledge. You're going to be able to apply that knowledge or that skill to someone's specific situation. So in this case, the skill might be scaling a coaching business or working as a growth partner to scale a coaching business. The application would be, how do you actually do those things? So what's the strategy? How do you implement it? The articulation would be the ability to voice these concepts and explain these concepts to you over a YouTube video. And then the visuals, which obviously I'm using Miro for this, is to explain these concepts visually as well as through the audio. Ultimately, each video should take someone from situation A, so where they are at the moment, to situation B, so where they would like to be. And this is ultimately how you structure an offer as well. And of course, your video acts as the transformation or the catalyst to take them from here to here. But you have to remember that solving their problem with your educational content is only one part of the equation. So you've given them a solution, but you also, in order to get them to convert, need to sell them on you as a person and educate them on your offer. So to educate them on you, you can use something like Instagram for this, where you post more personal things, or your YouTube, and you need to sell them on everything. So your appearance, maybe some people might like the fact that I've got an hoodie on right now. Maybe a bit of humor, just the way that you speak, your intonation, where you live. Some people might want to work with me because I'm from the UK and I have an English accent compared to working with someone from the US, especially if they already live in London or something like that. They might have specific likes and dislikes that are similar to mine, and they might like my story, which is something I need to get around to, is creating a video on my own story. But that's one of the easiest ways to sell people on you and your personality, is explaining your journey. Then when it comes to your offer, you need to tell people what you actually do, who it's for. So my offer is for coaching businesses or consulting businesses, why they should work with you or why they should buy. So how will it actually benefit them? So for example, with my offer, I'm going to help you scale to that next revenue level and sign an additional 10, 20, 30 high ticket clients. And I do it on a pay on results basis. That might be an example of illustrating how I'm different and what happens if it doesn't work. Well, I'll give you a refund if we don't hit your goal. Now, the best way to articulate this is with a link in your description leading them to a conversion optimized sales page. Now, the easiest way to educate people and sell them on yourself at the same time is using something like a VSL, which is what Ravi Abuvala has done here, who I'm currently working with to actually help build out some ads for him. So I thought I'd chuck that in there just as a bit of social proof. And it's also the reason that I use his funnel in almost every video. So I've made other videos specifically about how I would design a landing page or a funnel, so I won't go into detail on that here. Now, once you've got people in your funnel and you've educated them about your value, your offer, and your personality, you can now try and convert them. So once these people have hit your landing page, they're already somewhat familiar with you. If they click on the CTA, they're going to be directed to a booking page. And if they book, they'll go to a thank you page. Now, this thank you page, we also call a pre-sale page because it's designed to have more information to pre-sell those people on showing up to that call. So as you can see here, after the thank you page, those people are going to enter pre-sell systems. Now, alternatively, if someone comes through your Instagram rather than booking a call through your landing page, you can set them in the DMs and pre-sell them again. Now, once people have gone through that pre-selling system, they're eventually going to show up to a sales call and they'll close on that sales call. Now, to outline in further depth what the pre-selling system looks like, it's built of two main components: the SMS flow, which is primarily to give them automated reminders, and the email flow, which is primarily to give them value up front and pre-handle objections. So overcome the most common objections before the sales call ever happens. And there's more on that in depth in this free resource that I have here, the pre-sale sequence version 2.0, which is an update of one of my older videos. Now, one thing that I spoke about specifically in this video that attracted that high ticket client is whether you book 100 calls a month or more. And if you do, then you ought to be running a supplement ad campaign. Now, again, I won't go into detail on that, but it's all in this video here. Then once people have gone through that pre-sale system, they'll be in your sales process, as I explained previously. That should broadly look like discovery, establishing a gap, taking them from where they are to where they want to be, bridging that gap with your solution, whether that's your coaching program, your SaaS, your info product, whatever it is, and then handling objections. And once those objections are handled, of course, those people are going to become a client. So that is literally it. It's just those 3 steps that allow me to sign a multi-7-figure client on an ongoing basis. If you need help with implementation of any of this or the other funnels that I've broken down on my channel, then my links will be in the description, or you can DM me on Instagram if you need more personal help. I'm more than happy to help anyone that messages me. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe, please like, comment, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.